OTS Pack 7 is a disaster in most eyes of the community. Actually, pretty much all eyes of the community. I'm going to be on the short end of this stick, though, and I'm going to say that it's not technically that bad. Let's talk about it.
Picture me rolling.
What's up, my Nimrods? It's Gage coming back at you guys again with another dose of that fresh, never frozen Yu-Gi-Oh content. I am just elated that you guys would spend a couple minutes with me here today, talk about a children's card game we both mutually enjoy so flippin' much. So today, we're talking about OTS Pack 7, which just recently got announced to be released here in the TCG rather soon. OTS packs, for people that don't know what they are, is what they give out exclusively at locals for attending a OTS sanctioned tournament. So if you go to a locals which is OTS sponsored, like they haven't worked with ARG or something like that to maybe get their OTS status stripped away, you will get an OTS pack upon entry of that local tournament. This in turn makes these OTS packs a little bit harder to get your hands on, and some of the cards in them, which are exclusively ultimate rares and super rares, ultimate rares of which haven't been printed in any main core set in forever. It's just well known that ultimate rares are hard to get your hands on. It's not a rarity that's more common to come by since when they decided to discontinue them in main core sets. So now you can exclusively get these ultimate rares in OTS packs, in which these OTS packs release is reprints of cards in higher rarities normally. Sometimes you'll get the occasional rarity drop where they'll print something in maybe super or common where it was maybe a higher rarity before, but for the most part it's just blinging out cards that normally aren't as shiny on their own. So this in turn creates a lot of hype for players when a new OTS pack is dropped, a new number count, because it comes with new cards that are just going to be shinier for the people that are just rarity fiends to bump up their decks and make it look that much cooler. And normally, that being said, it's not really out of the ordinary for these ultimate rares, whatever they may be, to go for extremely exorbitant prices just because they're very hard to pull in these limited sets. And again, it's very difficult to get your hands on an OTS pack in general unless you're attending local tournaments weekly. So what makes OTS Pack 7, the most recent OTS pack, so bad in people's eyes? Well, I'm pretty sure you've heard it before, but the ultimate rares and even the super rares, most people think aren't that great. But I'm going to stand my ground and say that OTS Pack 7 is just not that terrible. It's not something that's as bad as people make it out to be. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. I do agree with the notion that I do think there's a lot of cards in this set that just have no business being reprinted or being printed in it at all. Like, why the fuck is Wavering Eyes in this set? I couldn't tell you. But for the most part, the ultimate rares and even some of the super rares in this set aren't as shitty as people make it out to be, comparative to that of maybe prior Astral packs or prior OTS packs. Astral packs, for people that are unfamiliar with that, is literally kind of the same mission statement as that of an OTS pack. It was released, I think, Astral 1 through 8, and then it changed it to OTS Tournament Pack, probably just different rebranding to make it a little bit more kind of stand out that it's an exclusive pack you can only get for OTS packs. But Astral packs were literally the same exact thing. You couldn't get them anywhere except attending a OTS sanctioned local tournament. So I just kind of think of it as a rebranding. I actually don't know where my black marker is, but Astral packs have the same general makeup of the set, which was 3 ultimate rares. That was an oddly long time for me to write that. Very awkward sound. You can't even fucking read it. Damn it. I'm gonna act like you guys can read that. And it came with 3 ultimate rares. How many super rares? God damn it. 10 super rares. And then X amount of commons. Nobody gives a shit about the commons nor the time. Astral packs had literally the same exact makeup as that, so they're literally just the precursor to that of OTS packs, nothing more, nothing less. To start, let's go over OTS Pack 7's makeup, at least the general makeup of the notable stuff in it that really is bringing people in this uproar, and that is the ultimate rares consisting of Link Spider, Herald of Orange Light, and Cosmic Cyclone. Herald of Orange Light's the one that stands out for people because it doesn't make too much sense. I think the only reason Herald of Orange Light is in this set is to complete the package of Heralds, which Herald of Green Light, Herald of Purple Light, these other Heralds have ultimate rare printings, whereas Herald of Orange Light, arguably the most notable, the best one out of those 3, does not have an ultimate rare printing. I think it's kind of cool that Herald of Orange Light has an ultimate rare printing now, even though it is definitely the butt end of the joke for this set. It's not a good card just to be printed in general. Definitely doesn't deserve, I think, a rarity bump in most people's eyes anyways. Link Spider is one that I think is not bad at all. Link Spider is used commonly with that of World Chalice as well as Scapegoat. And Scapegoat, your genetic makeup is normally going to be, if you're EU, you're going to be summoning just Link Spider, and if you're in TCG, you can summon Link Karibo and Link Spider as well to make your Staryu just Skull Dread Dread, I think it is. I always get Drake and Dread mixed up. You're going to be using those to summon Skull Dread, and if you're here in the TCG land, you can use Link Karibo plus a Link Spider to keep one of the tokens on the field to use for some other combos or extenders. That being said, though, that's exclusively what you're using Link Spider in. It's not one of the better generic Link monsters, as we had Decode Talker printed in Ultimate Rare and the prior OTS pack, which was definitely, I think, a much more fitting choice. Still, that being said, I think Link Spider is going to be one of the Link monsters that just outlast the time of the game until we start to get these really extremely broken Link monsters, I think, towards the butt end of the Link mechanic. And then Cosmic Cyclone is now printed in Ultimate Rare, and this one's very good. I think this one is probably, again, in most people's eyes, the best Ultimate Rare in the set, because Cosmic Cyclone is just generally, actually pretty much 100% the replacement for Mystical Space Typhoon moving forward. I think by now it's had a common reprint, but other than that, it's only had a secret rare printing, and that's it. Having it in a different rarity, a higher rarity, is way more pretty, and also I think this card is going to be a card that it just lasts throughout the entire history of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Having it in Ultimate Rare printing, a difficult printing to come by, is kind of sick, and I think a lot of people agree with that. However, when you start to traverse the rest of the list of these cards is really when it starts to crumble and fall apart. Cards like Royal Magical Library, and Magical City of Endymion, both taking up super rare spots for some reason. Divine Punishment is a card that just doesn't make any sense to get a reprint as a super rare. Some of these cards, I guess, just don't make sense being reprinted as super rare in a lot of people's eyes, and that's fine. I think Royal Magical Library is a card that's seen degenerate play in some FTK strategies, Exodia strategies, and whatnot. It's only been printed in common, so the fact that it's a super rare now is cool, but I can see where a lot of people say that doesn't make too much sense. However, I think the other super rares in the set aren't that terrible. Like Destrudo finally getting a super rare reprint is lit. World Legacy, World Chalice, kind of cool that that's getting a super rare reprint. I'm not sure if World Chalice decks actually actively play that card, but if they do, that's great. Spiral Tough is a card that you see in 100% of Spiral lists. Spiral is still being played despite its massive hits. Some people still enjoy that deck, like Simo has been working with that deck. I'm sure he's really happy about the Spiral Tough reprint. Fossil Dig, literally can't think of a better time to rarity bump that card than now, when Dinosaurs, 60 card Dinosaurs, is seeing probably the most play it's seen since prior to the banning of the Yang Zing Jabroni. I'll throw them up here, I don't remember who it is. And also the Paleozoics aren't as laughable as the prior sets one. We got Dynamiscus, which is one of the better Paleozoics, as well as Morella is also a super rare reprint, which I think Morella sees more play in some of the more turbo versions of putting ones into the graveyard. Morella is just actually, I think, a really good card in general too. And then we see Leon Canolia. That one's not played as much, I get that one. And then the commons are just embarrassing, which I agree with everyone with this. Cards like Zombie World, Spell Paragraph, Wavering Eyes, like I said, rare value, these don't make sense to be printed. I agree that the commons in this set were a total flop. What a mistake. Okay, but let's reason here. People are really upset about this set for the Ultimate Rare printings, and some of even the majority of the super rare printings in this set. The commons are really just ends by the means. Sometimes you get a relevant card being printed in there, make it a little bit easier to get, but it's never anything that's gonna blow your fucking mind that, oh man, I can finally get my hands on this card because it's reprinted in OTS Pack 7. But let me pose the argument that there's been some really questionable, some really fucking weird reprints we've had in the past in Astral Pack and OTS Pack that really don't make too much sense. And I'm gonna take you guys a trip back in memory lane. We're gonna go all the way back to July of 2014 to Astral Pack 5, which I think actually is to date probably one of the worst Astral Packs we've had. Astral Pack 5's main cards that you would pull as Ultimate Rares consisted of Bujin Yamato, Gaga Cowboy, and Pot of Duality. Now, I'm gonna make it clear that these cards were actually quite relevant at the time. Pot of Duality is just gonna always be a relevant card because it's just a great card in general. It still sees play today. It's like, I would say, the Galaxy Cyclone of OTS Pack 7. However, Bujin Yamato, Gaga Cowboy, you don't see these cards at all, and I think this really blinded players because Bujins were actually still really at the butt end of their relevance when this pack was released. See, Astral Pack 5 was released when not only a month and a half away we were actually going to get an entire format changing set, an entire game changing set in the form of Duelist Alliance, where you have Cliff Forts, Shadalls, as well as Burning Abyss take the reins for probably the next, I think, year and a half, 2 years of the game. A year and a half probably sounds more correct. I'm over-exaggerating, I think. But okay, still saying that, you would see not these cards like Bujin Yamato or Gaga Cowboy. You would not see them in competitive play, I think, since. I haven't seen Gaga Cowboy in any rank 4 deck. Not even any deck in general wants to opt to play Gaga Cowboy maybe as their 1 or 2 generic rank 4s. And then Bujin Yamato, that card's literally the cheapest Astral Pack card, sitting at around $8. That is embarrassing for an Astral Pack or an OTS Pack card, considering how difficult these ultimate rares are to get. But then you also have some cards like Star Drawing, Genis the Lightsworn Mender, Card Trooper. Why are these cards being printed in super rare? Card Trooper already has an ultra rare printing in the Jump promo, so why would it need a rarity bump downwards into a super rare? Star Drawing? Why? We also can't forget Charge of the Light Brigade being printed as a super rare in the set, whereas Charge of the Light Brigade already had a secret rare and a super rare printing prior. Why is it printed in a super rare again? A lot of super rares in this set just did not make sense. They weren't being played, aside from, again, Abyss Pike and really Bujingi Turtle. Again, for the last month that Bujins were relevant, would really see where this set, Astral Pack 5, would shine, and then just fade into obscurity. Pot of Duality is literally the only relevant card from this entire Astral Pack moving forward. It has not aged well. It is not a good Astral Pack, I don't think, outside of Pot of Duality. And then I want to point out something else, and it's OTS Pack 1, which OTS Pack 1 in a lot of people's eyes is a fantastic set. Had a lot of great reprints, but it, like Drool and Lock Bird and Super Rare, fucking incredible. Anti-Spell Fragrance got a much needed reprint in a super rare form for people to get. Typhoon got its first reprint in a long time, as well as Skull Servant got a reprint, which Skull Servants, if people play those, still kind of hard to get your hands on those. But the ultimate rares in this set, by God, are most of them fucking terrible. We had Bountiful Artemis as an ultimate rare in this set, as well as Vanity's Fiend as an ultimate rare in this set. Bountiful Artemis was released as an ultimate rare just as we started getting information on the new structure deck for the counter fairies, and people were excited. They were like, I can play Bountiful Artemises in this deck and it'll be sick. But then people got this deck in the TCG here and they realized, wow, this deck fucking sucks. Why did I need Bountiful Artemis and ultimate rare? I'm sorry, Olympia, yo, your deck is still terrible. Vanity's Fiend already had an ultimate rare printing. Why did it need another ultimate rare printing when it was just seeing the butt end of its play again? Wasn't going to be a relevant card in the future. I think this is the dumbest thing you can do in any OTS pack, any Astral Pack, is to release an ultimate rare card in ultimate rare again, and a set that's really limited in its ultimate rare spaces. 3 ultimate rare cards and one of them is being taken up with a card that already has an ultimate rare printing. That's so fucking stupid. Now, of course, these were overshadowed by Masked Hero Darklaw, a card that was seeing immense play at the time and fucking gorgeous in ultimate rare. That's still so pretty to look at. But saying that OTS Pack 1's ultimate rares were an absolute flop, I think they're actually probably even worse than the new OTS Pack 7. Let me explain why. See, the thing about OTS Pack 7's ultimate rares that I like about it is that I think it promotes longevity of these cards being good rather than the short term where we saw with Astral Pack 5. In Astral Pack 5, the only card that we've seen last the test of time is Pot of Duality, just because it's a generically incredible card. But Gaga Cowboy and Bujin Yamato are probably 2 of the lowest priced ultimate rares you can possibly get from any OTS Pack or Astral Pack. They're embarrassingly low. You won't be seeing these cards in competitive play anytime. I don't think ever, unless Bujins get more incredible support or some shit like that. But if we take a step back and look at OTS Pack 7's ultimate rares, Link Spider's going to be a really good Link monster to be able to use with Scapegoat and just in World Chalice in general, until we start to get, again, those more broken Link ones, which we don't see a lot of in this card pool today. Herald of Orange Light, while it is a card that just doesn't see play now, and it is questionable to release it right now, I think it's a card that's going to be nice to have to complete that playset of ultimate rare Heralds. I just think that's something really cool to have, something to be able to complete a set that's incomplete. Something to make something more whole, make it more uniform. I think that's cool. I think that's something that's overlooked. Whereas Bujin Yamato was just an obscure ultimate rare and a deck that had one ultimate rare in the form of Bujin Susanoo in the extra deck. And I don't even have to tell you guys about Cosmic Cyclone, why that's a good reprint. That's really actually just a genuinely good reprint. The reason I don't think OTS Pack 7 is that bad is probably because as a player, I value longevity over just the short-term satisfaction of being able to play foil cards in a competitive deck I own for maybe lasting the rest of the format. I don't know, this is definitely just me though ranting. I don't think anybody else is probably going to stand on my side when I talk about these cards and why I think this pack just isn't as terrible as people make it out to be. It was completing a lot of sets, it was just making a lot of things that I think, moves that actually made sense. But let me know what you guys think of OTS Pack 7 down in the comment section below. I can already probably predict the comments, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, express that you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I'm uploading regularly. That feels pretty damn good. Being said, be sure to like, comment, definitely subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim Nim, signing out.